employers, Central Organization of Trade Union, among others, Mr. Speaker, have raised concern about this bill, Mr. Speaker. But I want to say, Mr. Speaker, with post-COVID, during COVID pandemic, Mr. Speaker, we were able to learn, Mr. Speaker, a lot of working from home, remote working, using Skype, using Cisco, using other applications, Mr. Speaker, including Teams even in our judiciary, Mr. Speaker, where we were working from home and working virtually. So this bill is informed, Mr. Speaker, with what we experienced during COVID, where even the Senate was working virtually, and we were having an hybrid, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, right to disconnect is not right kupiga sherehe, as many young people would imagine, that on Fridays you are not supposed to be called by your employers, Mr. Speaker, or you are not supposed to be called beyond working hours. What I'm just saying in the right to disconnect is this bill has been implemented in most countries, Mr. Speaker. Kenya will be one of the, Mr. Speaker, countries in Africa, if this law is assented to by the President, to proceed with the right to disconnect, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, this is very important that the working environment, we need to encourage and ensure, but we don't need to abuse, Mr. Speaker. I have indicated that some employers are mischievous, where they send emails beyond 4:30, 5, Mr. Speaker, at that opportune, Mr. Speaker, and therefore they send and demand that by 8, Mr. Speaker, that work should be ready, Mr. Speaker, sir. And not knowing that all of us here, both men and women, have other obligations between 6 p.m. in the evening up to 6 a.m. in the morning. And therefore, that right should be respected. Mr. Speaker, the right to privacy should be respected. Right to family time, Mr. Speaker, where people have quality time to spend with family. Mr. Speaker, family is a social basic unit. Mr. Speaker, you saw the old man with the art, the great president of the Republic of Uganda, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, Mr. Speaker, and we wish him well as he recovers. He has addressed the nation, and he said he has tested positive for COVID. He signed the anti-gay law, Mr. Speaker, in Uganda. And therefore, we need to lead. We need to lead in Kenya, Mr. Speaker, and therefore encourage remote working, Mr. Speaker. The reason President Museveni, Mr. Speaker, was signed that into law is to protect the family unit. We must protect the family unit because it's a basic. Mr. Speaker, when you are in your house, you can imagine your spouse, you are expecting to be prepared with chicken soup, Mr. Speaker. You know, I neighbor people who love chicken, especially free range, not the broiler. I know there are people who eat other things in this town, like they want broiler or kienyeji. But when you are somewhere, Mr. Speaker, and your stew is being prepared by your spouse, you see the employee sending messages of email, SMSs of work. You know, even it distracts you with what the Lord ordained us to do. Because some employers even send at midnight, Mr. Speaker, when we should be proceeding with other serious matters as ordained by the Holy Book of Procreation. So, Mr. Speaker, number 3 is that this bill does not give right. I've said this bill gives right to engage at an opportune time.